I used to think money problems came from one big mistake, but a lot of the time, they come from tiny choices that keep repeating. That is the heart of the compound effect. Darren Hardy says small actions do not look like much today. One coffee, one skipped transfer, one extra swipe of the card, one more day of doing nothing. By themselves, they feel harmless, but time makes them loud. And this is where it gets interesting. The same thing works in reverse. A small good choice, done again and again, starts to grow. A little saving, a little investing, a little less waste. At first, it feels slow, almost too slow. But that is the point. Big results are often built in quiet ways. What I like about this idea is that it takes money out of the world of luck and puts it back in the world of habits. That is good news for me, and maybe for you too. It means your future is being built right now, in the small stuff. Darren Hardy does not treat habits like a soft idea. He treats them like the engine behind your results. That is a strong point, because I know how easy it is to wait for motivation. I have done that. I have told myself I will do better next month, next week, or after I feel ready. But motivation comes and goes. Habits stay. So in money, this means you do not need one huge push. You need a simple system. Save first, spend with a plan, pay debt on time, invest on a set schedule. That is financial autopilot. And I think that is where the book becomes real. It is not asking for drama. It is asking for repeatable actions. Here is the weird part. Good habits often feel boring. But boring is not bad. Boring can be powerful. A person who saves a little every month may not look exciting, yet over time, that person often ends up far ahead of the one who keeps starting over. One of the best ideas in the book is simple. I cannot change what I do not see. That hit me because so many people think they have a money problem when they really have a truth problem. They feel like they are spending less than they are. They think they are saving more than they are. They guess. Then they stay stuck. Tracking breaks that fog. If I write down every dollar for a week, I start seeing the truth fast. Small leaks show up. Subscriptions I forgot about. Little buys I never noticed. Random spending that keeps adding up. It is not about guilt. It is about awareness. This is where I would start if I felt lost. I would not try to fix everything at once. I would just watch my money for 7 days. That alone can change how I see my life. Once I see the pattern, I can finally do something about it. And that is a much better place to begin than guessing in the dark. Hardy also makes a strong point about momentum. At first, change feels hard because nothing is moving yet. But once you keep going, the effort starts to carry you. That is why people get stuck in stop-start cycles. They do one good week, then quit. They save for a little while, then stop. They invest once, then wait for the perfect time. But perfect time is usually a trap. Momentum grows from action, not from waiting. I think this matters a lot with money because money rewards consistency more than intensity. A small transfer every payday can matter more than one big effort once in a while. A small debt payment every month can matter more than a burst of guilt-fueled panic. The book pushes a very plain truth. Keep moving, even a little, even when it feels slow. That steady motion in what builds a better result. And once you feel that first bit of progress, it becomes easier to keep going. Not easy, just easier. That difference matters. Another big idea in the compound effect is that your surroundings shape your choices. That includes the people around you, the things you watch, and the habits your life normalizes. I think this is one of the most honest parts of the book, because willpower alone is weak if your world keeps pulling you the other way. If the people around me treat overspending like normal, I may start doing it too. If every app, ad, and scroll tells me to buy now and think later, that pressure adds up. And if my own space is messy and stressful, that can make good choices harder. So the fix is not just to try harder, it is to change the inputs. I can spend more time with people who value calm money habits. I can cut down on noise. I can make my space support my goals. This is not about being strict for no reason. It is about making the good path easier to follow. For me, that is a real kind of wisdom. The part of this book that stays with me most is this. Compounding is slow at first. That is why people quit. They do not see enough change soon enough. They expect the result before the rhythm has had time to work. But the book says that is exactly where most people get it wrong. I think a lot of life works this way. Saving feels small before it feels strong. Investing can feel quiet before it feels powerful. Building a better money life can feel ordinary for a long time. Then, one day, the curve starts to bend. That is the part people miss. So if progress feels boring, that does not mean it is failing. It may mean it is working. That is a calmer way to live, honestly. I don't need to chase big emotional highs every day. I need to stay with the process long enough for the process to pay me back. Small steps, repeated. That is the whole game. The deep inner truth in the compound effect is simple. Your life is being shaped by small choices, even when they feel too small to matter. That can be scary, but it is also hopeful. It means you do not need a huge rescue plan to change your money life. You need a few better choices, done over and over for long enough to compound. If I had to make this book practical in one sentence, I would say this: track what I do, automate the good stuff, cut the waste, and keep going. That is how tiny decisions become real results. Not fast, not flashy, real. And I think that is why this book matters. A lot of people feel behind because they are waiting for one big breakthrough. But most change is quieter than that. It is built in the daily repeat. If you want more book ideas made simple, subscribe to the 5-Minute Shelf. I read these books to find the one lesson that can actually change my week, not just fill my head.